Since I retired as CEO of Prologis, I've enjoyed using my book Transfluence and this series also to explore the stories of incredible individuals making a difference in the world. I typically end every episode with the same question: what in life are you most grateful for? Whether I've asked business leaders, authors, professional athletes, or even award-winning entertainers, the answers have been nothing short of inspiring. But I'm growing more curious about how that gratitude becomes an action and fuels purpose. So I'm asking my guests a new question. Specifically, what purpose are you most passionate about pursuing? This shift reflects my belief in the powerful connection between gratitude and purpose, a connection central to effective leadership and a fulfilling life. Let's start by reflecting on some of the most moving responses from a few of my guests that we've heard over the years about gratitude. New York Times bestselling author and speaker Anita Moorjani, who survived a near-death experience, reminds us that life itself is truly a gift.
Really grateful to have been given a second chance at life.
Former NFL pro Gary Gilliam Jr., now an entrepreneur, acknowledges all the people who have influenced him.
I oftentimes say, nothing of myself is original. I'm a sum of everyone I've ever met.
On the other hand, Clint Hurdle, who played for and managed several teams in Major League Baseball, wanted to thank his late boss from the Colorado Rockies, who challenged him to be the best he could be.
Kelly McGregor probably grabbed me at a pivotal point in time. I'm a flawed human being, and I share this with anybody. It's no secret. I'm 24 years sober, and I've been married 3 times. And Kelly sat me down one day and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start taking walks once a week. It was the off season. He's the second most influential man in my life outside my father. And just said, what kind of man do you want to be?
Former Chief Operating Officer of HGTV, Susan Packard, challenges all of us to put our talents to good use.
We all are given talents and gifts. And I think our work in the world is to identify what they are and then to give them back. And, as we find our place in the world. And I really think it's as simple as that.
And when veteran stage actor Robert Creighton spoke about gratitude sustaining his optimism, he put his talents to good use by being the first guest on Off the Rak to express that idea through song. Here, he's performing a selection from the Bing Crosby classic, Wrap Your Troubles in Dreams.
When skies are cloudy and gray, they're only gray for a day. So wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Until that sunshine peeps through, there's only one thing to do. Wrap your troubles in dreams and dream your troubles away. Your castles may tumble, that's fate after all. Life's really funny that way. No use to grumble, just smile as they fall. Weren't you king for a day? Just remember that sunshine always follows the rain. So wrap your troubles in dreams, dream your troubles away.
Gratitude, I've found, doesn't just make us happier. It's also the bedrock of meaningful life. But gratitude alone isn't enough. I think it needs a partner, and that partner is purpose. Many years ago, I read a book that had a profound impact on me. The name of the book was Man's Search for Meaning, written by Viktor Frankl. Now, Frankl was raised in Austria and survived 3 years of physical abuse at 4 Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz and Dachau. He was one of the very few who survived those camps where several million people died. In his time there, he came to the understanding that there was a common reason why many of the prisoners who might have otherwise survived ended up dying. They lacked something to live for. They'd given up. And he ultimately came to the conclusion that life is not primarily a quest for pleasure, as Sigmund Freud believed, or even power, as Alfred Adler believed, but really a quest for meaning. He believed meaning and purpose were sources of strength. And he believed the greatest task that we all have is to find meaning in our lives. In the book, he wrote that he who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. He also said to achieve personal meaning, one must direct themselves to something or someone other than oneself by giving themselves to a cause to serve or another person to love. I think he's right. And by visualizing and acting on meaning and purpose in his life, he ultimately lived a life of joy through 1997, 52 years after his liberation from the concentration camps. And he impacted others in unimaginable ways. In the recent documentary, Hidden Power of Purpose, Grammy-nominated vocalist Wintley Phipps commented on where you can find purpose. He basically said some people try to find their purpose in so many things like fame, like money, in their education, but you won't find purpose there. He said that purpose is how you use your blessings and use your privilege to be a blessing to others. By the way, Elliot Kotek, who produced the documentary, will kick off my first guest episode this season. Many of you know that I focus on themes in my book that help us be impactful leaders. Some of them include overcoming fears and pride, building transparency into your leadership, developing a strong core of authentic values, and oh yes, passionately pursuing a meaningful purpose. You see, purpose is more than a personal pursuit. It's actually a leadership tool that inspires and energizes those around us. But be mindful of the fact that purpose isn't something you simply find. It's often something you create. And it starts by asking the right questions, not about what you want, but about how you can positively impact others. My advice is to reflect on your unique gifts and passions, identify needs in your community or industry, and in the words of the late, great Bob Buford, who wrote the inspiring book Halftime, ask yourself, how can my fruit grow on other people's trees? So as we turn the page toward another season of Off the Rak, I hope this episode encourages you to reflect on two vital questions. What are you most grateful for? And what purpose are you most passionate about pursuing? For me, gratitude and purpose aren't just ideas. They're the guiding principles of my life and leadership. My hope is that they can be for you too. Hey, I'd love to hear from you. What purpose are you most passionate about pursuing? Share your thoughts on social media or email me directly. Visit waltrakowicz.com. Also, don't forget to follow Off the Rak on your favorite podcast platform. Leave a review and share this episode with someone who needs a little purpose-infused inspiration. And if you'd like to continue watching on LinkedIn Live or YouTube, hey, you're still welcome to join me there. Until the next episode, ask yourself, what purpose am I most passionate about pursuing? Then listen to what others have to say on my upcoming shows. And I think you're going to be inspired by what you hear.